how many
like
players have you lost in the last, I don't even know, like couple years to like, I've done this long enough, I'm chilling? For me,
Yeah.
that's like maybe one, maybe two. It's pretty uncommon. I think the reason why is because once you get addicted to this shit, like obviously WoW gameplay is something, but like being able to play, and this is something that a lot of people in WoW actually struggle to find at any level, which is being able to play with a group of people that you enjoy and are actually have pretty good skill parity. Like no matter how good your guild is, like you could be way worse, but you could have skill parity. That's like the WoW rating becomes the, and people actually show up on a schedule. Like, WoW rating becomes just, like, the most fun shit ever. And if you get to throw in the fact that we're, you know, the only two guilds that actually get to figure out these bosses instead of just, you know, just, like, watching a video of it, you're doing something that you can't get from another game. Like, this is the only place you can do that. So, I think that's why people usually don't leave, is because this feeling is literally irreplaceable. You cannot do this anywhere else.
Yeah. I think there's not many people, but I think that number would be even smaller if, let's say, I think the time investment outside of progress is a big turnoff for people. So people that see there's still a lot of enjoyment from playing progress and doing the race. Like, I don't think there's a lot of people, I mean, maybe there are some exceptions, but I would say most people do not enjoy the degree that we've gone to this. Whereas in the past, I mean, we still did, let's call it degenerate stuff back in the day. Let's say even 3-4 years ago, right? But
yeah, like islands
it was not...
and spamming shit like that, yeah.
Yeah, but like, I'm just saying, if you go past that, like a little bit further back, especially, you know, it was not the same level. Like right now, I think it's become a little bit too much to the point where it feels a little bit, how can I say it? I don't know the correct word, I guess, but...
Oh, dude, I have a full follow-up. This is actually something I wanted to cover. Was how far do we go? Where, how much is 0.3 eye level, raid eye level from a couple extra splits worth potentially losing one of your best players in farm? You know, like that's one of my two biggest fears for the race is, if people, chatters are listening, like I don't know if there's ever been a tier in the history of the race as we know it, since it's been streamed in old year, where the preparation for the next tier has not been harder to do than the previous tier, has not been more, has not asked for more characters, more splits. We did an entire heroic week at the beginning of this expansion, and we're like, oh, so we'll just do more characters than we've ever done before. And then we just brought the same amount of characters into this tier where there wasn't a fucking heroic week. We were doing like splits for like 3 or 4 days, you know, like basically how much of that bullshit and the upkeep that happens in farm and like what's the end point, right? Because you'd never want to be less prepared than another guild. But when you have this hasn't really happened to us, but when your best players start to be like, yo, this isn't fun anymore, you're not going to be a better guild in progression by having 4 more characters than another guild and running a few more splits and having a little bit more eye level. If you lose like just any amount, basically any amount of your players that you've had for a long time that are fucking sick, you're going to be a worse guild, you know? So like basically what's the breaking point?
That's a good question. I don't know if it's quantifiable. I would say we are definitely around that mark though. Yeah, I don't know if there's much more, let's say, to do. Like you said, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's no point going... I mean, look at this last race. I think it was about, what, 3.5 days of splits? Like, before I think on the 4th day, we killed the easy bosses in the raid, right? So it was like 3.5 days of splits, essentially. I mean, that's literally half the reset that you're doing non-mythic raiding. I think if you start going past that, it starts getting a little bit like, what the hell are we doing, right? Like, because I think there's no point as well to increase, let's say, how many characters you do if you're not going to use them when they matter. So I would say, I don't know, 3.5 days is pretty significant. I don't know, going past that, I mean, sounds...
Dude, I think
spooky to me.
Now, splits in progression fucking suck. When there's no heroic week, it feels so shitty to just not be in mythic. But I almost even wonder about like the farm too. Like, it's only like 2 or 3 days, but it's just a lot of runs. It wears people down, especially tanks and healers who like rarely ever get to sit from them. You know, we try to do a good job of like giving people time off so they don't like absolutely hate the game. But like people love competing in progression, but I think that another thing is specifically what the time. So like, what would you rather do? Would you rather grind islands for 2 weeks on one character, or would you rather have 15 hunters? Because they're both like the same shit, but I feel like the second one sucks so much more because you don't have any 100%. Identity. You don't have any identity with any character you're playing. It's not like you have a hunter and then a DK and a rep paladin. It's like you don't even know who your main is. You literally do all these splits, and then randomly someone messages you with a loot string, and you log over, and then like you just like RNG get traded 15 pieces of gear from a run you did 2 hours ago, and you have like and then I guess this is my main now, you know.
And that's what I mean, where it has gotten to a point where you just feel like it's very detached from playing a game, and it's more like I don't know. It's like working in a factory in a sense, or something like this. Yeah, it feels a little bit weird to how we've. I mean, you can argue you brought this to yourselves. You know, it's self-inflicted, but I mean.
Well, I mean, literally, yes, that's true. Like we have done this, but also you can never like imagine going into a race, the thing you care about the most, the reason you do all of this every like on average 6 months, and you were a little bit happier in farm, but you showed up with less characters and less eye level than someone else, and that's the reason you lost. Then it's like you can't do that. So
I think 100% to answer your question earlier, 100% I would prefer the one character. Now well, I mean, when I was more actively playing, let's say, there was one good thing. You will not care about this at all, but there was one nice thing having so many characters, and that is because it makes farming stuff in the game easier, like mounts and shit.
Fuck yeah.
But
there's a lot of people in chat that could relate to that.
Yeah, I mean, I would consider myself a collector, and occasionally I get the itch, and occasionally I don't. And I will say now that I'm only playing one character basically in the game. That's the one thing I miss a little bit with all that.
Oh, you miss having the characters? That's crazy. Like when chat's asking me like, how do you feel about being outside the raid and stuff like that? The first thing is I'm like, bro, I'll tell you what. I was falling behind when we were farming artifact power, and I would be in absolute fucking hell having 15 characters. Like that sounds like the worst thing of all time. And you're just like.
Yeah,
you miss that.
No, okay. I miss not having the characters to do the stuff that I want in terms of I don't know, farming stuff or whatever. Like, let's say, okay, I'll give you a stupid example. You know, there's what is this currency called? What is the resources in this expansion called, man? Resonance crystals, right?
Sure.
Like, bro, I'm starving. Yeah, I don't have any resonance crystals to buy anything. But back then, when I played, and I would have, I don't know, 10 plus characters, and I would blast all the content, I would swim in this stuff. So the only thing that annoys me, it's not maintaining those characters. I did not enjoy that at all. I'm with you on this. Mm-hmm. It's just the side stuff that comes with playing so many characters that in terms of collecting stuff in the game or whatever it is, it's like a lot easier if you have multiple characters and doing all of that. Anyways, I mean, it's like I'm just weird with that. I think there's like 2 or 3 other people in the guild that collect stuff. Yeah, I don't know how it is there with you. Do you have any collectors?
I'm pretty sure Sang is like one of the biggest collectors in all of WoW. Like he is, I think, every mount in the game, but 2 of them. And I don't think he's an achievement.
Oh, that's cap, bro. That's cap. There's no way. Two mounts?
Bro,
no way.
Bro, okay. I might. One second. Okay, let's challenge it. I'll fucking go to his guy right now. I hope I'm not slandering him. What is the, is it Simple Armory?
Simple Armory.
Yeah, Simple Armory. Let's see. I hope I get his character right. I know how to spell his name on Twitch. I'm assuming that character is still on Illidan.
I'm linking my character as well for reference. Let's see. Am I gonna get destroyed?
I don't know. Let's see. Collectibles. I hope this is the right character. Sanghelios, but here he is. So Sanghelios has, okay, I made that the fuck up apparently. He has 1,026 mounts out of 1,085.
Oh, let's go to 1,039 here.
You have more? Oh, yeah. Shit. Bro, little bro fell off. 1 second.
Hello?
Okay, I want to say that statistic that I just said was closer to true before this expansion when they maybe added more or something. Oh yeah, like Visions Revisited just got added. There's a bunch of, at least out of the amount. But dude, I didn't know you were built like that. That's crazy. You're a huge collector. But yeah, we have a few that do like achievements and mounts and stuff. I would say it's pretty rare at this level to find that. But also like half of our guild is EU transplants, and I feel like if you're gonna ever transfer regions, you have to not care about your account to begin with, right? So, or if you did, you have to give it up. So I feel.
Okay, small tangent on that. Small tangent, real small. It's 2025, okay? How can we not be able to transfer across regions is beyond me at this point. Wait, what? They tell me one good reason why it's not done.
I mean, there's not a good reason, but I imagine Blizzard would tell you that it's some kind of like technical thing, but I mean, that just can't be true.
Oh, come on.
Because it's not even like, it's not even transfer costs, because if you could actually transfer for money, the likely answer is it's just like a 20-year-old game, but there's no good answer.
Okay, I think it's all zeros and ones, yeah? You can literally just make a copy of your account if you wanted to. It's not, I don't know. I would not. I would definitely raise an eyebrow if this is the actual reason.
Bro, people used to do it back in the day. They used to do all kinds of shit. Get characters transferred to other people's accounts. Get your account completely moved from NA to EU. You just needed to know somebody at Blizzard that was willing to lose their job that worked somewhere. I mean, I know of people that have had it done for a fact. This was all like 13 years ago or something, but yeah, you used to do some crazy shit. I'm sure they got that shit locked down now, though.
Yeah, I mean, back then, at least, I think it's just that the game has progressed a lot. Like, back then, I could see an argument as well. Like, they were quite protective of, like, oh, this would disturb the economy or whatever. But come on, bro. Like, right now, I don't think any of that.
Oh yeah, I could see that. Like the value of gold in EU and NA is different, so like that would change if it was able. But also like who cares kind of thing. There's a fucking WoW token in the game, man. You could standardize the cost of gold really easily.